3 years after a fatal car crash that left 2 women dead and a young boy paralyzed, the family of the victims is looking beyond the at-fault driver who was texting to the cell phone manufacturer as the culprit. The Metter family in Henderson has taken on technology giant Apple, claiming the company has built-in hardware for phones that could end texting while driving, but Apple has chosen to not use it. KLTV7's Julia Janae takes a look at both sides of the legal battle over texting, driving, and death. The burden of responsibility.
9-year-old Sammy Lane Metter knows he was the best.
I used to be the fastest runner on my first baseball team.
He's also the best at being a fighter.
I would never walk again. My spinal cord snapped and I died 3 times.
A diagnosis that came in 2013 when a tragic car crash changed everything.
My Mimi and my aunt, they both died.
Sammy was the only survivor in their vehicle. 21-year-old Ashley Kubiak was the at-fault driver behind the wheel. According to the police report and grand jury indictment, Kubiak had been looking down at a text message. Just before the 3-vehicle wreck, she was sentenced to 180 days in jail.
A tragedy. The taking of 2 lives that didn't need to be taken.
Sammy's mother, Kim Metter, lost her mother and aunt that day.
I was furious. I was mad.
But their current fight isn't against Kubiak. It's against Apple, the maker of Kubiak's iPhone.
Whoever it is who has created the monster, you have a duty to help control the monster.
2 of Kimberly's attorneys say Apple could have prevented Sammy's crash if it had used a safer alternative design, and they say the design isn't imaginary. Attorney Greg Love says he found this patent registered to Apple 5 years before the collision in 2008, and it details how to lock a driver out of the phone's messaging features when the car is going a certain speed. The technology even detects when a driver is in the driver's seat or in one of the safe passenger zones, but that feature never made it into future iPhones.
They've created the problem, they've actually created the solution, but have never implemented it.
Attorney Jack Walker calls our response to a cell phone notification a compulsive addiction.
It's a neurobiological response from the brain. It basically triggers the pleasure centers of the brain with a shot of dopamine. And the science also shows that people do it so frequently that they don't realize it's happening.
Apple's court response to the claims says that the iPhone itself caused no injury. The responsibility for inattention is on the driver, and it tells the court that the Metter's lawsuit should be dismissed. The case still pending. Sammy Metter still a daily fighter.
It sucks being in a wheelchair.
Tell me why.
Because I still wanted to be the fastest runner in the family. And I could have been in the Olympics.
A big dreamer and part of a pretty big legal fight over responsibility. In Henderson, Julia Janae, KLTV 7 News.
We've reached out to Apple's attorney. We were told they can't comment on pending litigation. This case started in 2015, is being litigated in Tyler's federal court. A federal judge recommended that the case be dismissed, but a final decision has not yet been made.